Willie D Live.
I know about the Ghetto Boys since I was hustling in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? This is probably like 88, 87. So when people saying that New York people wasn't listening to the South, no, some New York people wasn't listening to the South. But when I'm in Virginia, you know what I'm saying, all the girls that I'm, hanging out with when I'm hustling, they put me up on the Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to Bone Thugs when they came out because I'm out of town. So I have a different perspective when it comes to hip hop because I was out of town in different places and I learned about y'all and different other groups way back then. So when I hear the South and they come to hip hop, it ain't Outkast saying, the South got something to say. Ghetto Boys been saying something since the 80s. Where the hell y'all niggas been at? You know what I'm saying? Way before the 90s. So I've been watching everybody since, the streets and then getting into the industry. And then when I started hitting the glass ceiling, I would say probably when I got the BET is then when I started learning about the secret homosexuality clubs. And then all these dudes now that prosper, that are in the space that we on, they all succumb to that. How I know? Because I came into school with y'all. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I look at it, the hip hop university. We all came in together. A lot of these dudes graduated because they succumbed to the dark side or they succumbed to homosexuality. And dudes like us, we don't get that because we didn't do what they do. And they not gonna let us get in the spaces that they in because we ain't do what they do. So why would they let us eat the way they eat when we didn't do what they did? And that's all it really boils down to.
Is it, in your mind, it's a requirement. If you want to go to that, I don't want to even say the next level, I would say the highest level. If you want to be the guy, you saying that's a requirement.
Hell yeah.
You don't believe there's any guy up there that's all the way up at the top who have not sold his soul to be there.
Even when you look at a Master P or a Jay Prince, even them, as successful as they've been, right? Mostly their money came from them making it on their own, right? And investing in themselves. But you won't see them today in the space that they should be in. Jay is no different from fucking Little Jay. Jay ain't no different from Master P. Technically, Master P was more successful of a CEO than Jay-Z was. Jay-Z was successful because of what Dame did, right? But look at Dame, right? He's a perfect example. Why after Rockefeller wasn't he the CEO of Def Jam? Why he couldn't get a job for any other record label, Motown, anything with the success that he has, the CEO. Jay wasn't the CEO. I mean, he was the CEO on paper, but daily in the office, that nigga wasn't there. The artists couldn't call on him for things that they needed, or, he wasn't sitting down with the product managers and the marketing team for every artist. He did it for himself, but for the day-to-day operations, it wasn't him. And then y'all turn around and let this nigga run Def Jam?
I think when you start talking about the artists, or even, I think the artists are like a microcosm of society, period. Like people that, no matter what discipline they're in, right? So it's like the people who make the waves are going to be challenged more. They're going to face more obstacles because those who have it, those who can just push the button and make things happen and put you in position or whatever, they don't want to deal with somebody who they believe will challenge them. Somebody who say, "Where's my goddamn money?" and I ain't going nowhere till you stroke the check. See, I did a deal with Ichiban Records back in the Gap, and they owed me some money. And I called these people for my money like a whole month straight, and they kept giving me the runaround. So one night I told my guys, "Look, man, we're going to Atlanta in the morning. Be prepared. I'm gonna call you first though to let you know it's really going down. I'm gonna call them and I'm gonna try to get this dude on the phone. If he don't get on the phone, we gonna go to we getting on the first thing smoking to Atlanta." And that fool didn't call, so we was already in position. We met at the airport, and this was back in the day. You could book a flight and be on the flight within an hour, right?
Right.
So we jumped on the flight. We go down there, and we ready. We pull up, and it was just like in the movies where you walk in, and the receptionist is going, "Hey, you can't go in there," you know. And we just kept walking, and I go in there, and I basically I encouraged dude to stroke the check that he owed me, and let him know it better not bounce. You know, I ain't gonna be responsible for his help. And you know, he stroked the check. I walk out, and as I'm walking out, this white chick walks up to me, and she's like, "I'm glad you did that. Tupac just left about 30 minutes ago, and he turned the table over. You know, they owed Tupac money too." And so I thought that was, I didn't think I was doing it for attention or trying to be a bad guy or anything. I did it because I thought that's what a man's supposed to do, you know, like stand on business.
Right.
But when I did it, man, before I got back to Houston, I was blackballed. It was like they were mad. It was like the word got back that I did that. And they came, you know, they was like, none of the majors want to sit down with me and talk business after that. And I thought, in my mind, that was an honorable thing. I thought everybody would be like, "Damn, that's real, man. He did the right thing." Shit, by the time somebody checked that guy, you know?
Right.
But instead of that, you know, I was met with angst, you know? I was met, you know, with contempt.
Right. Well, see, the thing is, the industry is not no place for somebody with intelligence. The industry is not no place for street shit, so to speak. You know what I mean? This is why they ushered out the gangster music and ushered in the Soldier Boys and the younger dudes. It wasn't about the talent. It was about get these street niggas out of here because they robbing us, right? And how many times you seeing Straight Outta Compton, Ice Cube, right? He looks like the bad guy because he telling them dudes, "Yo, they robbing us," right? So they make him look like the bad guy. So intelligence is not a place for this music business because all the people that run it are people that aren't like us, that don't look like us, but want to benefit from us. That's where Dame coined that phrase, culture vultures, right? People think culture vulture is white people coming into black people's business and making money off of it. I'll give you another example of culture vulture, with no disrespect. Wu-Tang are culture vultures. Them niggas ain't grow up in Japan, China, right? They didn't grow up in Shaolin, but they use their culture to make money, right? Now, be dudes in Japan and China or wherever the Shaolin dudes or the Wu-Tang's from, they look back and be like, when they used what we used to watch, the Shaw Brothers movies, right? Golden Arm, The Five Deadly Venoms, those type of movies, that inspired their hip hop, right? But when the Asians or the Japanese or the Chinese, whatever they are, when they sit back and they watch your Wu-Tang, they are looking like, man, that's fake. Dudes can't fly through the air and be kicking like that. The dudes is on strings and this and another. But for us, we were fascinated with the culture, right? They got, you know, RZA or whoever, they got fascinated with their culture and they implicated it into their raps, right? None of them ever been across into Japan and China when they was working on the 36 chambers, right? They used that culture that it influenced our culture, hip hop culture, to the point now where we love Wu-Tang and we love Shaolin, and none of us probably never been there. That's another definition of culture vulture, right?
But can you be a culture vulture if you're like respecting the culture where you're getting your art from?
Yeah, but you're still making money off of something that you didn't live. The same way that these white people make money off of us, right? They're not a part of our culture, you know what I'm saying? But they got involved in our culture to make money, right? Like people always talk about Vlad is a culture vulture, right? Vlad was born in the Ukraine, right? He's from Russia. He's Jewish. Have you ever seen him have any Ukraine artists on his show? Or have you ever seen him put out any Ukraine music? He got his claim to fame from a Tupac unreleased music called Rap Phenomenon with a bunch of unreleased Tupac music. Anybody could have put that out when Tupac died and became famous.
But let me challenge you on that.
Sure.
Now, Vlad also put out a series of DVDs, hip hop DVDs, and he was DJing. As far as I know, he started doing all of this as a teenager. So if Vlad is going to the hip hop spots and
see what you just said?
Yeah.
He's going to the hip hop spots. He's a Ukrainian dude, right?
Right.
So he's coming to our culture.
That's right. That's right. He absolutely is coming to our culture. I mean, nobody's arguing. Vlad wouldn't argue that he's not making money off of hip hop, or his whole platform is not influenced and propped up by hip hop and black culture. He's not arguing that. But what I'm saying is that if you go into the culture and if you contribute to that culture by putting out art, you're DJing, you start, you create a big platform like the one he have, and you hire black people. Predominantly, your staff is black, and you are, you're promoting that culture. Does that person still deserve the title of culture vulture? Because when I think vulture is something bad, right? That's not a bad thing.
No.
Okay, so if he's a culture vulture, is that something to be? But there are situations where people say somebody is a culture vulture, and usually the connotation is that it's associated with something negative, right?
Right. Well, people take it as negative because Dame is saying, "Yo, you're a culture vulture," meaning you swooped in on a culture because it was popular, right? So, and Vlad's staff all wasn't black.
No, it wasn't. I said predominantly black.
Yeah, but the dude like Sonny that was at Vlad in the beginning that helped him build Vlad didn't build Vlad. You got dudes like Sonny and all these other guys that they don't know. I'm a person that Vlad was dealing with in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
He used to take, when I did the Last Days of the Rock, right? This is 2005, 6, when YouTube started. I would give Vlad my links to put on his Vlad website. Me not knowing, Vlad was downloading my videos and uploading them onto his YouTube channel, right? Mm-hmm. Now you making money off of my videos and you not paying me nothing.
So he's still having circled back and say, "Hey, Choke, man,
hell no,
I got a bag for you."
No. And how I realized that he was doing.
Okay, good.
How I realized.
Which one of his cameras? Is this my camera? This is my Vlad. All right, good.
Now, how I realized Vlad was doing that, one day, Vlad is not totally independent. People think Vlad is independent. Vlad, see, I've been in this game a long time, and I know these guys. Like I tell you, we all went in the same hip hop university together, right? So we coming up in the business together. One day, Complex is flagging all my shit on YouTube, right? And I'm like, yo, why is he still flagging my shit, right? And I hit Vlad up, and I'm like, yo, Vlad, why is Complex flagging my shit, right? I let you get my promote my stuff. Now this is how now I know how he's been taking all my videos, uploading them on his channel, making millions of views, getting millions of views, right? These dudes flagging me. So I'm like, yo, take all my shit down now. Oh, come on, Choke. No, man, you know, I'll talk to them, this, that, and other. Motherfucker, he did a deal with Complex, right? Sold some of his company to Complex. And then after Complex had some of them, then BuzzFeed bought Complex. So this is why he may have all this money to start paying out people. Because you do this like I do this. You can't be paying all these people to become doing these interviews unless you're getting funding from somewhere.